I knew it was coming.
Did you?
No.
How? Why?
I mean, that's the beauty of it, you know. Nobody in this room, if I give you an envelope, say, can you predict what's going to happen tomorrow and who is going to score? That's the beauty of football. You know, in football and you do very well today, put your head down, be humble, analyze how you can improve, because the next game is going to be completely different to this one, and nobody can write the script, unfortunately, even if we would like to. It's something hasn't been done, so great to be part of that. But as a team, we want to achieve many other things that are far more important than that. The happiest thing that I am is because we are in a very strong position to go to the next round, which is where we want to be. But there's still a job to do in London for sure in a week's time.
This result obviously gives us a lot of confidence for the future, and I think what we would have to try to do is keep the same energy, keep the same mentality, use this as fuel for the future. We're not going to win every game 7-1, but we have to show every game the same desire and the same hunger as today. And I mean, I'm sure that in that way, in the future, we will get good results.
OK, just to fill you in, we will hear from Jose Mourinho in a minute. What's happening now at the moment out in Istanbul is Soyuncu, the former Leicester player, is now at Fenerbahce, is speaking to the media. I will bring you a bit of him a little later on. He looks nice and relaxed. Jose Mourinho sat alongside him at the moment. When he does speak, we will go there. But we always want to speak to Pete and Dougie as well. We spoke briefly on Arsenal in the last hour. Arteta full of praise for Ethan Nwaneri's performance, suggesting he is becoming a big game player. Right, how good is he?
Yeah, very good. Very good for 17. Turns 18 later this month. But we heard in the last part Dougie saying about PSV and their problems and their weaknesses and vulnerabilities that Arsenal obviously exposed. But this was a big game for Arsenal last night. There's season riding on this Champions League now. And Nwaneri steps up with the second goal, and probably his best performance, I think, we've seen from him so far since he's come into the senior team. And we can see here the youngest goal scorers in the Champions League knockout stage, behind just Bojan and Jude Bellingham, is Ethan Nwaneri. I say nearly 18, but the things that he's doing at his age right now are so impressive. The way he's come into the team with lots of pressure, lots of scrutiny on this Arsenal attack, and he's really been delivering for them. And it's not just this one-off performance last night. And it was a very good performance, we should say, because obviously we got the goal. He ranked first for shots. He ranked first for shots on target. No player had more touches in the opposition box among Arsenal players than Ethan Nwaneri last night as well, with his crosses. But look, out of possession as well, this is a player completely embracing the demands that Arteta is putting on him, because this isn't just a 17-year-old being asked to go out and have a go and have a run out and just show us what you can do. He's completely operating within this Arsenal system and delivering for them. And as I say, not just last night, Arthur. We saw him score against Man City, a fantastic goal there. Another huge game for Arsenal at that point when they were still hoping to chase down Liverpool in the title. And we can actually look at Nwaneri's stats this calendar year, since the turn of the year, across all competitions for Arsenal. No Arsenal players scored more goals than him, which is just a remarkable fact, really, for a player who is just making his first steps into the first team. And look at the amount of shots that he produced. Such a confident player around the box. Passes into the box, creative as well, and successful dribbles. Again, underlining that this is a player, no fear really in his game, the way that he takes it to the opposition, and I think it's incredibly exciting. Thomas Tuchel names his England squad next week, with Saka still on the sidelines. Could Nwaneri already be in the frame for that? You know, England have turned to 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds in the past for debuts, and maybe Nwaneri is the next one to take that step up, because certainly in high-pressure games for Arsenal, like last night, like against Man City, he's stepping up and delivering and showing what he can do.
Wow, incredible. What will this result do for their chances in the competition?
Well, in terms of their chance in the competition, I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference. We already touched on PSV's struggles so far domestically in 2025, and the draw for the quarter-finals means that they'll play either Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid in the quarter-finals. And given their injury situation, I wouldn't make them favourites against either of those opponents, especially given the way, I know Atletico Madrid lost last night, but the form of Julian Alvarez, they got Sorloth, they got Correa, they've got Griezmann as well. Arsenal just don't have these forward options available to them. Real Madrid would obviously go in as strong favourites against Arsenal, given their Champions League pedigree as well. 6 of the last 11 Champions Leagues have been won by Real Madrid. But in the immediate future, it gives them the opportunity to take a lot of confidence into that game against Man United at the weekend. They've won 5 of their last 6 against Man United, but they did knock them out of the FA Cup just a few months ago. It also gives them the opportunity to rest players against PSV at home, maybe give the likes of Kivior and Zinchenko and Jorginho more minutes than that one. And then they play Chelsea, who they also have an outstanding recent record against. I think they're unbeaten in their last 7 against Chelsea. So in their immediate future, it secures the path to the quarterfinals. There's absolutely no way that PSV get past them. It gives them more confidence against the likes of Real Madrid and Atletico. But I think what it really means is it gives players a rest and an opportunity for more fringe players to get some minutes next week against PSV at home.
Sorry, Rob, just jump in. I think the other thing they'll be saying is that by the time of this quarter-final, Saka and Martinelli should both be back fit. So suddenly, Arteta talked about changing the narrative with the performance last night, and they certainly did that. And I think suddenly there's a bit more optimism. You're talking about the Man United games, the Chelsea games, building up some momentum going towards this quarter-final.
Breaking night for Arsenal. Just how impressive was it?
Hugely impressive in many ways. You know, they became the first side in Champions League history to score 7 goals in a knockout tie away from home. This is the first time they'd scored 6 or more since 1993 in a Cup Winners' Cup game against Standard Liège. And there were performances to really get excited about. Martin Odegaard really coming to the fore as well, with a number of... You know, he'd only scored 3 goals going into this game as well. They became the first side in Champions League history, 7 away goals. It was their 3rd biggest all-time win away from home. The quickest side to score 5 goals away from home just in 48 minutes in Champions League history. Mikel Merino, after a slightly disappointing last couple of games, playing as this auxiliary striker, grabbed a goal as well. But it was, you know, it has to be said in the context of what's been going on at PSV. They were 6 points clear at the top of the Eredivisie as they went into the winter break. They're now 8 points behind Ajax. Their best midfielder in Malik Tillman's out injured. Their top goal scorer in Ricardo Pepi's out injured. So it has to be taken in that context. And the scoreline did slightly flatter Arsenal, as any 7-1 win would. They only created 2.3 XG. So some great finishing in there, but still, for their confidence, for their momentum, a really important win.
OK, we're just going to break away because we're going to break away from the Champions League.
There's the gaffer here.
Congratulations, Mikel.
Thank you.
Was that everything you wanted from your team tonight?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when we talk about boxes in the Champions League, how important they are, I think today is one of the greatest examples. So happy for the boys because the last 2 games we haven't scored a goal, and you know all the noise around it, and to be able to put the performance and the goals that we put tonight, very impressive.
Mikel, we've all been in this situation before as players when you see one of your teammates getting booked. How important was that? It could have gone a different way completely for Lewis tonight. But
I haven't seen the second action, but when there is so much noise as well, you play away from home, I didn't want to take any risk.
Yeah. At that point, you're 3-0 up. So I guess you make that decision with a confidence that you feel you've got this game.
Yeah, I did it before with 2-0 up because obviously the game could change immediately. They are very experienced players. They know what to do, and he's very young. So I think we have to protect him.
This is the second yellow here that you didn't see, actually. So if you want to have a look and give us your thoughts on this.
Let's talk about the game.
What was your message at half-time? Obviously going in 3-1 at half-time, it can be a tricky scoreline, but you seem to come out obviously firing, get the 2 early goals in the second half. Just conscious, what was your message you gave to the
Go
players?
for the 4th one. That's it. That was very clear. Before I make any adjustment tactically, say, guys, we need to go out there, score the 4th goal, and then the game will be over. So a very clear message.
Did that penalty just before half-time, obviously for PSV, was that kind of at the forefront of your mind that they felt maybe they could have a little bit of a swing coming back?
Yeah, because the momentum can shift, you know, and there's a team that is very used to winning. They have a lot of capacity to generate chances in various situations. So if you come out and they score the 2nd one, it's game on, and you don't want to put yourself in that position.
It was the biggest scoreline in an away win in Champions League history in the knockout stages. They've not been beaten 7-1 for the best part of 90 years. This is their worst defeat ever. You know, so many stats were tumbling tonight with Arsenal's performance against PSV. Did you see this performance in your team coming? You know, you just mentioned there you hadn't scored for 2 games, 3 games in 4 you hadn't scored a goal.
No, but this is the beauty of football. You know, it's focus on what you are doing, try your best, and what happens, nobody knows. Nobody's got the magic card, the right answer, because this is a very random game and anything can happen.
Does this shift momentum for you now? Can you feel the energy? You've got, as always, a tough run of games coming up, and next week you've got to finish off PSV, of course.
Yeah, that's a big one, obviously. It's a massive result away from home in a competition that we love, that we missed for so many years. So today is a special night for us.
But you've got to go to Old Trafford at the weekend.
Yeah, in a few days we're gonna be there. It's gonna be a really tough one, and we know that always that's a massive game. We have 3 days to prepare that. Go again. They will have PSV. They will have Chelsea. So this doesn't stop, unfortunately.
We've talked about Miles obviously having to leave the game a bit early, but Ethan, the guys have just been waxing lyrical about his performance tonight. How accomplished he looks for a player who's
17, 18 years old. You know, to be doing what they are doing shows incredible maturity, but as well they're doing that because of the other players, the way they support them, they make them better. And the fact that they have a lot of courage and the way they play, the way they make decisions. I mean, our fullbacks, Miles makes an assist here. Juren scores ahead. Calafiori makes a run as a nice cross with the right foot. That's the team that I want to see. That's the initiative, and they want to make things happen.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And best of luck next week.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
See you.
Thank you.
Sunday.
I think he's looking forward to that.
I think they'll be getting 2 more days off soon at some point as well.
Well, I think he's got the opportunity now to go for it full on head on Sunday, and obviously he can rest players throughout the midweek, because as much as he probably won't say it, this tie's over. So he's got the opportunity to rest players midweek, and he can go for the full throttle on Sunday.
It was interesting just before Martin saying what they did in those 6 days and how much they worked in the box and how much they worked on finishing, which gave you kind of an insight into, obviously the manager wasn't going to let us know pre-match exactly what they did, but this has clearly been at the forefront of their thoughts, the lack of goals.
You could see the intensity of the runs into the box, from not just from the attack but from the midfielders as well. Maybe they identified that PSV are man-to-man, and making runs into the box is obviously difficult for them to deal with as midfielders anyway. But I think the timing of the runs, the dynamism that the team showed tonight, and the intensity in the runs as well. They were doing everything at the right pace and not messing around. I think that's the most important message tonight, was that they gave themselves the belief that, you know what, yeah, people are saying the league's over, but in the back of our minds, we've got to do what we can do. Tonight was a moment for them to enjoy, and obviously next week you can rest people, but I think they can go home now feeling very proud of themselves, that look, we've had all these questions about us, about the football club, about goals, this, that and the third. We can safely say, look, they probably put that to bed with the performance tonight. Loads of players are going to go home with confidence, goals in their kitty, so it's a really good performance from them.
Between the second leg next week and the quarter-finals, and in that month you would expect at least Bukayo Saka would be welcome back, and potentially Martinelli as well.
Yeah, well, they've got to get back in the team. I think when you come into the team, and the young lads have come into the team, and they've been fantastic, and it's all about momentum. And when you have an injury and you're out for a long period of time, you need to work your way back into the team. And I'm sure, obviously, of course, the top players, and they'll have a big chance getting back in the team. But if these lads keep doing what they're doing and keep shining, then it's not going to be as easy as people think.
And this is what I was saying before, when you have an opportunity when players are injured for people to stand up, and Ethan's obviously one of those players that he's learned a lot from Bukayo. But as well, Bukayo, you've got to be careful with him as well. When you've been out for a long period of time, it can take you that time just to get back to the level that you expect. And they wouldn't want to push Bukayo that fast, I'm sure. But look, it's a great factor to have, knowing you've got these players come back training with him, because they will train with them before as well, and that will just bring energy into the dressing room. I always remember when I came back from a long-term injury, how important it was for me, not just for me, but the squad, to be in amongst them again. So the energy it creates, it's an absolute blessing. It really is.
I think the one thing I'll take from that performance tonight was, we speak a lot about the strength in depth and them needing a number 9, but then when you get the wingers who are creating chances and scoring goals, when you get goals from midfield, I think the philosophy from what Arteta has said over the years is that spread goals around the team. We don't want to rely on just one position, and tonight was proof of that concept. Fantastic performances across the board, and of course you got the likes of Bukayo and Martinelli coming back, but what the players have done who have been playing, especially Nwaneri, who's obviously a young player, but what he's done in such a short space of time, being fast-tracked into the first-team environment and delivering week in, week out. He's been the best player for the team in terms of the attack over these weeks. And I'm certainly proud of him. I don't know him personally, but I'm very proud of him, to see him, what he's done at such a young age. It's beautiful to see.
Thomas Tuchel might have been watching. that performance tonight?
I hope so, and I hope he gets in the squad because he's been incredible. And I think, sometimes, as former England players and as pundits, sometimes we do heap pressure on young players to get them fast-tracked and to have them involved in the environments. But looking at him, is he ready to be involved in the squads? Is he giving, is he showing the qualities that he deserves to be in and around it? I believe so.
I think he is definitely, and I think what we've seen over the last couple of years with England is some players maybe getting an opportunity to play for England who probably haven't deserved the opportunity. That's my opinion on that. But I think Nwaneri, what he's doing at the minute, he's shown he's got the temperament, he's got the right attitude, and he's got the ability to be in and around that squad. So if he keeps doing what he's doing, then I'm sure he'll have a great chance.
And obviously Miles as well. England maybe in that position.
He's right behind you there, Theo.
That is a position, actually. Yeah, he's getting his running done. He needs to do a little bit more tonight. But look at the smile. Look, this is a player that came off, by the way. But it just shows the attitude now of how important is the staff is around him. So for me, that just speaks words there. And that's a position where I look at the England team as well at this moment in time, where it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
And for someone who's playing at the highest level in the Champions League for Arsenal Football Club, under a manager who you can learn so much from, why would you not pick him? This is players playing with so much confidence. So look, what a year he's having and the career he's going to have.
On the flip side, you look at PSV and, in the previous matches where there's players like Noah Lang and Bakayoko, people are talking about they're being linked with big clubs. And so many of those players will be so disappointed tonight that they miss an opportunity to shine in front of, such a big side as Arsenal and those eyes watching that game.
Yeah, they'll be bitterly disappointed with their performance as a team. They didn't create loads of chances going forward, but defensively more so than anything, I think that's where the biggest disappointment comes, because before the game you had Perisic saying, hey, we've got to defend as a team and we've got to work hard as a unit, this, that and the third. And I think tonight, although they did work hard, it didn't last very long. And when you are going man to man around the pitch, you've got to be dedicated and focus on your guy the whole time, and I don't think that was there for the full 90 minutes, and obviously it's shown in the scoreline.
I think you've got to give Arsenal a lot of credit for that, because they've obviously done the work on PSV, and when you defend man to man, any runners off the back here, it's so difficult to defend, and Arsenal done that really well, really capitalised on that. But I thought PSV were very, very poor. I was coming here excited to watch them. First time at the stadium, thinking it's going to be a really close tie, and I was very disappointed with their performance tonight.
And it speaks volumes as well for their attitude now for going into the second leg for these players. If you can be trusted in that environment when you're 7-1 down, go out there and show a performance worthy for the fans that will be travelling as well, because the support at the home was incredible. So you make sure you put in a performance not like it at home, because that's just not acceptable.
What to see from Arsenal was right there for 90 minutes.
What striker? Do they need a striker? I'm not so quite sure. Look, I think it's great. I mean, Declan speaks so well. He gives such an insight into what people don't see behind the scenes, and just how excited he is about the academy players coming through, not the ones that have just played tonight. But do you know what? They've got a leader in that dressing room who's taken that role, responsibility. He takes it all on. Look, he didn't get the goal, but you can just tell he is that heartbeat in that squad. And do you know what? An absolute performance tonight, an absolute statement. Look, I know PSV, they took out Juventus, and it was quite intimidating to start this game. But look, they silenced all of that, and now no one wants to play Arsenal in the Champions League. This is what we were saying before. They're a lot more equipped because the games are a little bit slower, but they played at this pace and energy. I'd love to ask Mikel. At times in games, you always feel like 1 or 2, that's fine. We'll just hold back and keep possession. But they were just ruthless. They were ruthless tonight.
Well, you will get your chance to speak to Mikel when he comes and joins us here. But they went for the kill, didn't they, tonight, Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, we talked at half-time about potentially PSV coming out and, giving it a right go. And then Arsenal came out and were like, we're putting you to bed. It's time to go to sleep. And pretty much how they performed in that second half was they had that killer instinct. They weren't messing around, they weren't showboating or doing anything, getting overly confident. They were saying, we're here to do a job. We're going to continue to pry at these guys. Obviously, PSV were playing man-to-man, so there was a lot fluid in their movements, like Declan Rice had said. And they created so many chances, and they were so comfortable as well. It was a professional performance. The experienced players we asked for before the game, we said, are those guys going to step up? Odegaard showed what he was about. Rice did his thing. And, of course, we got Ethan Nwaneri, who's a young player, but he was absolutely magnificent tonight. You have to give the full team credit for that performance. It was an amazing team performance by them.
They haven't scored in 3 of their last 4 games. They've now recorded the biggest ever away win in knockout stage of Champions League history. How do you go from that first stat to what we saw tonight?
Yeah, I thought they were really emphatic tonight. I thought He got bodies in the box. I thought Declan Rice, just hearing from there, I thought he was fantastic tonight. Very unlucky not to get a goal, but I thought some of his forward runs, getting in the box, you know, almost filling in for that number 9 at times, with his late runs into the penalty area. I thought he was fantastic. I thought Waneri was incredible. At 17 years of age to come and play in the knockout stage of the Champions League, to show his flair, his ability, you know, his willingness to get shots off. I thought he was fantastic. On the flip side of that, I thought PSV's defending was woeful. So not taking anything at all away from Arsenal. I thought the defending from PSV was not very good at all. But a really emphatic performance tonight from Arsenal.
They haven't lost a Champions League game at home all season, though, and this was a team that only lost a 58-game unbeaten run last week, PSV, and I know their confidence has been rattled lately, but did you see any kind of capitulation like that coming tonight?
Do you know, Arsenal were clinical as well, and you've got to feel for the PSV players at times, because you've got to then go out there and be professional and try and get a result. But like Daniel was saying there, Arsenal didn't give them a step to breathe at all, and that was the message that I was relate to them, that let's get this done tonight. I mean, obviously Timber chatting there thinking, you know, still a lot to do. Look, they've got to say the right things, I get it, but look.
Yeah, but he was interested to see which Madrid side had gone ahead tonight.
He did, to be fair, didn't he? But look, it's absolutely incredible. Yeah. Exactly, but this is what I'm saying. They're so focused, but that's a reflection of the manager. The players are reflecting that, and that little break has done them the world of good. It really did.
Yeah, and I mentioned that Manchester City had a 3-0 lead over Dutch side this season and ended up drawing 3-3 as we went to the break at half-time. Well, Arsenal did not heed any of that kind of history, did they? They came out, as you said, Daniel, just going, right, we're not going to let this team back in here. We're going to finish this off.
And that's the main thing for them, psychologically. You know, you want to come out and show what you're about in the second half, make sure that they know what time it is. Hey, we're here to press you. We're here to put you under pressure. When you have the ball, we're not going to give you a second to breathe. We're counter-pressing. We're on the front foot. And I think for Arsenal, this is now something to build on for them. You know, both teams maybe coming into the game were a little bit low on confidence in terms of, you know, PSV losing 2 games, Arsenal having a draw and a loss before the game, and there were question marks about the goal-scoring abilities of Arsenal. Have they put that to bed tonight? There's, 6 different goal scorers, so it's spread across the team as well, which is good for the team's confidence. But we're talking about this here, you know, the
2 individual.
And look at the individual ability here of Nwaneri. Nice little step over, putting it the corridor of uncertainty, and Odegaard's in the perfect position to score.
This again is what I was talking about with Declan Rice. He made this run time and time again tonight, where if you watch him, he becomes the number 9, so he gets involved in the play. Now he's in the middle of the goal. Very unfortunate it doesn't fall to him. Odegaard gets the tap in, but that's what really impressed me tonight with Declan Rice. Some of his forward runs and his presence in the penalty area was something which I haven't seen that much of in him, but I thought he was fantastic at doing that tonight.
And I think it's really important for Martin Odegaard as well tonight to get those brace of goals for him personally, because that's been one thing he's been lacking. I'd say he would question that. We looked at his stats before the game, but look, that will breed a lot of confidence going to your team at the weekend, Wazza. Good timing.
Yeah, although I don't think you were particularly confident about Manchester United's chances before tonight, were you? Ahead the weekend, but
they'll be okay Sunday.
That scoreline certainly will, I think, send some shockwaves through Manchester tonight. Trossard gets the 5th for them, and Theo, he also had a great night, didn't he?
He did, and we said this before the game. Out of all the individual players in the forward line, the one that's got that instinct, that finish, that cool energy is him. You always felt like that's the player you want in that position, that's going to be able to get these goals as well. He's come up with some really important goals at times coming off the bench, but this is what we want to see more of him, getting in these positions a lot more, and it's a great finish, isn't it? But look, again, the defending is awful, but look, we've got to give credit to Arsenal tonight. They're just clinical. It's like in training at times when you're doing a training session, we've all been in it, and you don't really finish it properly, but it's like this week they said, no, we finish it properly, and I mean it, and that's what I'm talking about, the intensity. So credit to the whole setup at Arsenal Football Club in this moment in time.
Yeah, so that was 5-1. And
I missed that goal, actually. Walking back.
Was that you hobbling?
Limping back, yeah.
Oh, but you missed both, because you were obviously working with Gabriel just before the game kicked off, and because of your poorly knee, which you only mentioned 8 times tonight, that you got back and you said, hang on a minute, what's happened there?
You didn't mention the golf. No.
Wasn't very good, it's not.
Yeah, a golfing injury, would you believe? Odegaard gets his 2nd, though. This so great for the captain, for his confidence, and for I guess, for propelling them forwards now.
Yeah, no, I thought he was fantastic all game, and it's a really good goal, actually, good movement coming onto the ball, takes a touch. goalkeeper, I have no idea what the goalkeeper's doing. I think it's straight at him, but Odegaard comes inside on his trusted left foot, gets a shot off, hits the target and gets a second goal of the night. So, but as Theo said before, once Arsenal went to 5 goals, it's easy to then relax and take your foot off the gas and see the game out and just keep moving the ball. But he kept going, he kept trying to score more goals. He deserved the 6th and 7th goal because I think just for the attitude and application.
Well, the momentum
he
was just swinging a little bit. I don't mean the whole momentum, but just that penalty before the break. You know, PSV would have taken a lot from that, wouldn't they? So they showed nothing really in the second half.
Well, they made the defensive substitution, and Nagalo came on, and just got worse. It was like they haven't defended their life, really, wasn't it? But look, Arsenal were absolutely incredible tonight. They really were. They really made PSV look very average. And look, and like you said before, they've been very decent in the Champions League.
Well, Calafiori wrapped it all up, and I think it would be remiss of us not to show the 7th goal, wouldn't it? I think his family would think we had something against him if we didn't show this one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just talking about the performance, this is the left back right here in the middle of the pitch, you know, making runs in the centre forward positions. You know, Calafiori wanted it on the glory, of course. Beautiful finish for him. And, you know, these are finishes that the likes of us three up here on your weaker foot, sliding that in the bottom bin like that. Beautiful stuff.
And you're right, here is Martin Odegaard just coming into the studio. Congratulations. Admiring your assist there for the 7th goal. You got your stats boosted a lot tonight, Martin. That was a great performance from the team and from you as captain. It was important to put a marker down tonight.
Yeah, I think so, especially after the last few games. I think we needed a performance like this, and I think it was brilliant from the start till the end. Really good going forward, you know, attacking the box, creating chances, goals, and unfortunately we conceded 1 goal, but apart from that it was a top performance.
You hadn't scored in 3 of the last 4 games, so to produce a performance like that tonight, and I know the opposition might play a part in that, but what happened in those 6 days between the Forest game and today?
To be honest, not too much. We work hard every day, you know, to improve, and especially after performances like the West Ham one and also last game we wanted to do better, obviously. So we've been working, you know, around the box especially. A lot of finishing, and but to be honest, it's the same as always. We always work hard and we always try to do our best, and today it clicked and it was good.
Martin, I've got to say, so clinical tonight, and I was talking to the guys before, when you do training sessions, how important it is to finish the action.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something that's been implemented from the setup, from the staff and the players itself being tonight? Yeah,
I think so. I think we've had a little extra focus on it after the last few games. And we know we have the quality. We've done it so many times. See it today when we play on this level, then it's really fun to play. We create so much, and we know we have it there. So it was good to get everything out today.
And for you, you know, saw you today making runs in the box, ensuring that you're in those goal-scoring positions. Is it in the back of your mind sometimes that you want to get on the score sheet? And I know you're a very creative footballer, but is that something that you want to add more to your game, considering your previous stats over the other seasons? You're a goal-scoring player.
Yeah, of course. I think every player in my position want to, you know, influence the game with goals, assists, and create chances. And for me, this season personally, I haven't been good enough. So it's something I work on every day, you know, to improve. And today I got 2 and 1 assist, so that's a good step.
Can we talk a little bit about the youngsters out there tonight and that goal that was made in the academy, obviously with Miles assisting for Ethan there? Tell us about those 2 and what they're like, you know, in terms of the confidence that they showed out there tonight, which of course you senior players will have to guide them and give them a little bit.
Yeah, unbelievable, but they play like they've been here for many years already, you know. They have so much quality, so much confidence. They're really ready for it, you know. So I'm not too worried about them. We just enjoy having them in the team, and they put on a performance like this, then we have to enjoy it.
And as well, how important it is, obviously Lewis came off tonight, being the booking, it's probably the right decision. How important is it now as a group to get behind him? Look, it's no hard feelings, it was a decision that was made. I mean, it's down to you players now to take those responsibility.
Yeah, but I think he took that really well. He knew it was tricky position to be in, you know, when you're on the yellow and you have a tough challenge there as well. So I think he took that really well, and we're all there to support him now and help him, and I'm sure he will learn from that as well, and just be ready for the next game now.
And I got to ask one thing, going back to Madrid, not sure which obviously
Madrid?
he's still got a lot to do, maybe people looking at the scoreline not so much, but look, something that you must be excited for.
Yeah, obviously it would be special, you know, to go back there, but any team, you know, it's an amazing team at this stage, and whoever we get, we will enjoy it and be ready.
I see the smile on your face, man. That sounds like something you want to achieve, you know. But
I think we have to finish our job first, at home, and then we'll see who we get.
For sure.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of jeopardy ahead of that one next week. I know you can't say it, we can. But those youngsters there, you were that 16-year-old kid going into Real Madrid. I'm sure there were senior players who put their arm around you, and we talked, these guys all had those players when they were youngsters in the Champions League. Do you consciously do that with them? Do you speak to them, or...?
Yeah, I try, to help them. Obviously, I've been in a similar position, and I know what it's like to be a young player coming through, and it's not always the easiest thing. But for them, it's such a natural thing. They're here, they're ready for it, and we all enjoy playing with them and helping them, and yeah, it's just a joy to play with them.
Well, Daniel's got a presentation.
Yes, got a little gift for you here, player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've been incredible today. Well deserved. Player of the match, my boy.
Thank you.
Respect.
Cheers. Thank you, madam.
Congratulations, and
Thank you.
best of luck next week.
Thank you so much. Good to see you, man. Thank you. Nice to meet you, man.
Well, it would be one of the greatest comebacks in Champions League history if PSV were to produce something next week at the Emirates. You never want to call it until it's over, Daniel, but I think it's very hard to see a way back for PSV.